This is Thought You Knew, Part 24 of Surrogate, the Director's Cut. Written by Trin, SSJTrinity. The rating is mature. No archive warnings apply. The fandom is Malevolent, the podcast.
Additional tags. Little pitchers have big ears, especially when taught to analyze their situation. One might say it's all coming to a head. Not a divorce fic, but some stuff comes up and realizations are had. Voices by Jasper as Arthur, LynnLarsh as John, Flamia as Hastur, Vmprsm as the narrator, Faroe and Sycophant number 1, Igneous as Kayne, Kraiva as Sycophant number 2, SSJTrinity, Kraiva and Somniate as the work introduction, editing by Flamia, directed by Vmprsm, transcript by Saffron, created and posted with permission from the authors of Surrogate, the Director's Cut.
Faroe overhears. John grieves. Hastur denies. It's unwise to assume based on incomplete information. Still, can anyone really help doing it?
Faroe is nearly 8 years old. She's good with a bow and arrow. She can even shoot while riding nibbles now, not always with accuracy, but that will come in time. She's good with both sword and dagger, and is a fair hand at mixing poisons and their antidotes. She knows she's good with the harp, knows she's good with languages, knows she's getting very skilled with spell work and diplomacy and maps. Faroe knows to trust herself, her opinions, her feelings, her skills. That's why, when Nibbles wakes her to hear her people, father, uncle, uncle's weird friend, arguing again into the night, she's disturbed that her instinct says it's about her. It's very naughty to slip out of bed like this, to creep near the music room, to tiptoe in the shadow Nibbles provides, to try to make out just what they're saying. Because she can't be right. Why would they be fighting about her? Dad loves her. Uncle Arthur loves her. John is weird, but he is still trusted, still safe. Why would they be fighting about her? The music room doors, grand and carved and heavy, are closed. Through it, muffled, unclear, are words.
Too young. Yes, Arthur.
John has great enthusiasm, which he always seems to do in those rare moments Arthur isn't weepy. The rumble of her father's voice.
I'm telling you as a courtesy, you have no say in the matter.
More shouting. She can't make it out.
You are raising her right. You tell him, Arthur. I am her father.
She leans, pressing her ear to the door.
You're not listening. It is necessary. She must learn. As future ruler of Dakota, she must be feared. And you would rather be loved instead. You may be naive or willfully stupid, but
Something.
she will be loved and feared, as I am.
What were they talking about?
Whatever you wish, it's not going to change anything. Fuck you, Hastur. Fuck you. You're not giving her a choice.
Something. Oh, they were talking about her. But in what way? About what?
The decision is not yours. Well, fuck you. Fuck you.
And there are other sounds now. Choked sounds, not good sounds. Like maybe Dad is hurting someone. It's a sound she's known all her life. But surely he wouldn't do that to Arthur. Why would he ever? And then John commands. It's a minor spell, one she learned years ago, one designed to burn, to light candles mostly, though Dis had taught her to use it on any assholes who ever tried to grope her. But John couldn't do magic. John didn't even have a body. He shared it with Arthur, who wasn't attuned, which would be a deadly thing to...
Arthur, wake up!
Faroe pushes open the doors, finds her father cradling Arthur Lester, who looks dead, who is limp, who is pale, who...
Faroe, quickly, begin the fake spell you just learned. Arthur is in trouble.
The heartbeat spell. She can do that. They do it together, both of them, using power and will and careful magic to settle Arthur's heart, to make it beat and beat well, to force his system into functioning. They push until his eyelids flutter, chant until she can feel that Arthur's body has resumed its duty and his heart is beating on its own, and he will not die. Arthur is all right. She will not panic. She wants to panic. She will be calm and measured. Arthur is all right. He has to be.
What happened?
An excellent question.
She knows her dad and knows that this scared him because Arthur dying is obviously terrible, so he couldn't have been strangling him before this happened.
John, why don't you explain what happened?
John makes a bad sound. It's not a sob, but it's close.
I see. We will need to work this out tomorrow. But tonight, I think, we have all earned a bed. Don't you think so?
Faroe doesn't feel like she could sleep after this. John hurt Arthur. Probably not on purpose. Those two were close. But he had. It must show on her face. Dad goes soothing.
My daughter, you have saved him.
That feels good to know. It does.
You couldn't do it on your own?
Of course. But you helped so much, my precious one. When we worked together, the risk to him was fully mitigated. Why are you awake?
I heard you shouting.
The slightest pause, the tiniest hesitation.
Did you hear about what?
No.
It is flawless deception. He strokes her hair, holding her close.
Can you sleep again after all this excitement?
I'll try.
She doesn't understand what happened here. Faroe likes to understand. She's missing too much information. Nibble's eyes Hastur is all eyes at Hastur, a shadow with dire distrust.
Rest, children. He will be fine.
Nibbles makes a sound that defies description, but makes the lights in this room flicker.
You'll be okay, Uncle Arthur.
Faroe kisses his clammy forehead. She leans into Hastur.
You promise he'll be okay?
He will. I have him stabilized now.
She strokes Uncle Arthur's hair.
Love you, Dad.
She leaves. Nibbles follows, a disgruntled storm cloud with hooves.
Well, well, well.
She hears Hastur say before she closes the doors.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
There's no more shouting. Why would John do such a thing? What had happened in there?
Faruffin, you lied.
Kayne sounds amazed, even awed, as if she'd done a good thing.
I know.
She climbs back into her bed, which had to be expanded to accommodate Nibbles' bulk.
Thank you for waking me.
She says to Nibbles.
But you lied to your daddy. Perfectly, I might add.
I didn't want him to worry. After all, they were fighting about me tonight.
Just tonight, Faruffin?
Oh, That was not a good question.
What do you mean? Elucidate.
I thought you knew. They always fight over you.
Faroe does know. She's not sure how, but she does. She just doesn't understand why. Arthur nearly died. Her heart has not settled yet, and a wise ruler delayed decision until equanimity was achieved.
I need to think on an appropriate response.
It's not a good sound, but then Dad's laugh is pretty big and scary too, and so is Nibbles's, so Faroe isn't particularly bothered.
Well done. All right, sleep on it. Then we can talk about steps.
Which means a new spell, because that's his answer for everything, learning a spell to soften the situation. That helps, strangely enough. It feels very good to know what to do. There is no more shouting, and Faroe falls back asleep. Arthur wakes with a start, like popping a cork.
John!
I'm here. Shh. Take it easy.
The room is quiet. Breeze from the gardens moves through, carrying scent and sound and birdsong.
Ugh, fuck. I feel like hell.
You're not okay.
John presses his hand to Arthur's chest.
Stay down. Your heart had trouble last night. They saved you, but you need to rest.
That's the logical thing to do, of course. Arthur, however, has never been all that logical.
I will in a minute. I need to talk to Hastur.
He's apparently determined to resume the argument that nearly got him killed and slides out of bed.
Arthur, did you hear me? Your fucking heart stopped last night. Lie down.
Arthur's face in the many mirrors is pale, frightened, and far too fucking determined.
So, I'm on my last legs then.
What? I didn't say that.
You said I had a heart attack. I'm barely over 40. That's not great, John. I need to act now before I can't.
He's feeling his way toward the basin.
Arthur, that's not what happened.
Then what did? I don't remember.
Arthur washes his face, finds yesterday's clothes on the floor, and picks them up.
I remember fighting about Faroe. I remember Hastur's going to teach her to kill. I don't even remember going to bed.
That's because he fucking put you to bed.
Arthur stops and considers.
Hastur undressed me?
He's bathed you more than once.
Arthur apparently thought dancers did it or something, and makes a face.
Don't tell me anymore. You're going to give me another heart attack.
Arthur, this isn't funny.
Didn't say it was.
Arthur heads for the door.
I need to find Hastur.
Arthur, I'm the reason your heart stopped.
Arthur freezes, hand on the door.
What?
I tried to cast magic last night through our body.
Arthur frowns.
I can't do magic.
Yeah. I mean, you probably could, but you haven't been attuned, so it stopped your heart. I almost killed you.
John sounds bad, really bad. He reaches up, touches Arthur's throat, checking his pulse, a familiar motion, as if he'd been doing that all night. Arthur is silent for a long moment.
What did you try to cast?
Burn spell. I wanted to hurt him for grabbing you like that.
At least I would have died for a good cause.
John fails to see the humor.
I'm sorry. I still need to talk to Hastur.
He opens the door.
Arthur, wait!
Where would Hastur be this time of day?
How the fuck should I know?
You can feel where he is. I know you can.
How did you know that?
Because you know how to avoid him.
Arthur's walking toward the public area outside Hastur's private rooms.
Deduction?
Sure.
Arthur, you used deduction. You haven't done that since we got here.
Sure. So where's... What the fuck?
Arthur stops. Tears? Tears streaming down his cheeks.
But these aren't mine.
He wipes with his right hand.
John?
You almost died. Your heart, it stopped working. It took Faroe and Hastur together to save you. I almost killed you.
He grips John's hand.
I'm okay. Fuck. Faroe saw me having a heart attack.
Arthur squeezes his hand.
I forgot you could cry with my tears.
Done it before.
It's stuffy, which is ridiculous without a nose.
You were crying at the same time and didn't know.
Arthur stands still for a long moment, his thumb rubbing the back of John's hand.
I still need to talk to Hastur, John. I promise I'll lie down after. Dis will have to hunt me down to get me to do anything today, okay?
You deduced. You haven't done that in so long.
Well, I suppose I haven't entirely lost the knack then.
Arthur walks on. John gives in.
I know where he is, but he's holding court. You won't be able to talk to him right now.
We'll see.
Even broken, he has absolutely no respect for monarchist malarkey. John wasn't kidding. Hastur is holding court, and the place is packed. There is more than a little conversation, some of it loud and a lot of it angry. There is discussion of territories, allotments, some kind of upcoming games Carcosa will evidently be hosting, and Arthur is not in his composer's uniform, but he is marked.
Straight. Careful. You're going to have to push your way through.
But Arthur does not. One by one, they see him. Conversation stops, monsters do double takes and part, stepping aside.
They're moving for you.
John neglects to mention the rest.
Convenience.
Arthur keeps moving forward. He brings a bubble of awkwardness with him, an expanding and sharp attention on his way to Hastur's throne. He walks with what looks, in the mirrors, like a lack of fear, as if the madness-inducing beings gathered around pose him no threat, as if he has seen so much, felt so much, that nothing here matters. John is proud of him. John also wishes he could shake some sense into this foolish, fragile human.
Stop here. This is as close as supplicants can get. I hope you know what you're doing, Arthur.
It's a lot quieter in this room now. Arthur waits. He's gotten better at waiting since coming here, since being broken for so long.
Composer, to what do I owe the honor?
Ah, there's the mockery.
Sir, I bring news.
He thinks that's the kind of thing they say around here.
Do you? Perhaps you should share it with a more appropriate chain of command.
Nope.
Regarding the mother.
Fuck.
That's the only warning before Hastur picks him up. Hastur is rough, grabbing him, clearly not hiding his anger.
I will return.
He moves.
Silence, composer. What do you think you're doing? Do you think she will be safer if people know she's related to you? Do you?
No.
Arthur is shaking.
Nobody knows who I am. But you need to listen. You're making the same mistake as Bella's father.
Daniel. What about him?
You're not giving Faroe a choice.
This again? I thought I was clear last night. A choice? I'm giving her all the choices. She will be able to do anything, to go anywhere, to command as she wishes. Arthur, what are you doing?
You're going to lose her. I am trying to stop you from doing that.
There is a long pause.
Arthur, what the fuck? And I suppose now you're on my side, are you? As if you wouldn't swoop in like the little thief you are, and try to take her from me, like you've taken my other half.
And do what when I did? And do what? You fuck! What could I do? Just make her feel bad? I hate that you have her. But she's happy. And she's strong. And she's going to have a good life. Even though you keep fucking things up.
You dare?
But you are going to lose her. If you insist on her following your path without any space for her to forge it herself.
He pushes at the tentacles holding him.
Put me down.
No. I have to make an example of you.
As though he needs a reason to keep hold.
She has no reason to dislike the path I've planned.
That's not the point. The point is you're not giving her options.
She isn't you. She won't refuse simply because it wasn't her idea.
She'll be more likely to follow your idea if you at least fucking tell her why.
Another long silence. From out in the other room, someone laughs loudly.
Why would you tell me this?
I'm trying to prevent you from hurting her, you absolute piece of...
Hastur squeezes hard just for a moment.
Careful, Arthur. I give you many unearned freedoms, but they can be taken away.
Fuck's sake! He might... his heart!
As long as you aren't casting anything, John, his art will be fine.
Hastur finally drops him. Arthur lands badly.
Fuck! Ow!
Stay here. Do not leave for another hour. If you do, I will toss you back in, this time with something broken, so you cannot leave again so soon. I wish them to believe I have punished you for interrupting. Are we clear?
You're... not going to actually punish me?
Which meant Arthur had come in here fully sure that's what Hastur would do, and said it all anyway.
Arthur!
And have to deal with you healing? You're a pain in the ass, Arthur. Slow, unwieldy, like a ruined paintbrush. Push me, and I will do it. But I'd rather just play out this foolish scene, and then you can resume your duties.
Practical?
I always am.
And Hastur just leaves, sweeps away, slamming the door. They can hear him booming away out there, proclaiming who the hell knows what.
We can resume. Arthur.
Where are we, anyway?
War room.
Great.
Arthur rubs his sore ankle.
What's in here?
Not much. A huge table on which is a model of various places in the Dreamlands. That's it. Not even a window.
Better have listened.
Why would you do this? Why would you risk so much just to say something totally unnecessary?
It was very necessary.
You could have died last night, and here you are, risking his wrath for what? For what?
For her.
He tries to hold it back. He can't.
Always for her. Always for fucking her.
John, she's my daughter.
She's his daughter.
And Arthur flinches.
And when you do this, every time you do this, it feels like I'm not enough. Ever. It's always for her that you pull yourself up.
Arthur rubs his face.
John.
She doesn't need any damn thing from you. She has him.
And because Hastur even put fucking mirrors in his war room, John gets to see Arthur twist. Gets to see his face tighten, lips pull back. Gets to see him go pale. Gets to watch Arthur go silent.
Fuck. Arthur,
Arthur shakes his head.
You're right, I know that.
No. I'm sorry. I did it again. Like before the prison pits. I used her to hit you. Just like fucking Hastur.
You're not like Hastur.
I used her to hit you. Before the pits, I almost completely drove you away. I probably gave him the idea. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
John.
No. He got the idea from me. I did this. I did all of this. Oh, fuck.
It doesn't matter. I already forgave you. We're here. It's done. And I fucking need you.
I did this.
John!
And Arthur smacks his left hand.
Ow! What?
I need you. Will you just fucking listen to me for once?
John can't.
Arthur, this whole thing is my fault. I gave him the idea. I showed him how to break you.
I don't give a flying rat's ass.
That's a weird visual, Arthur.
I don't care. Faroe's alive, and I would go through any damn hell for that to happen. And yes, this has been hell. But you know what? I need you.
You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have been broken.
I need you, you absolute donkey, and you're throwing a pity party instead of listening to what I have to say.
Arthur, I am the reason this entire fucking thing happened.
Well, then thank you.
Arthur!
You're the reason I'm here. I'd have given up. She isn't enough to keep me alive, John. I thought you knew, for fuck's sake.
She is, though. It's for her. Kayne and...
You think that would have gotten me through those long nights in that room? With nothing but the breeze to talk to, with monsters more than happy to end me, with a balcony waiting, inviting me to walk off. You really fucking think I'd have made it without you in my head?
I do. Arthur, you're incredible.
And you're an idiot.
Arthur.
I don't care about that. I care that we're all here and alive. And I need you. Alright? I never would have made it this far without you. And if that's not enough to counter whatever else you're feeling, then I don't know what to do for you.
Arthur, I nearly killed you last night. I hurt you with your own daughter twice.
Well, I've hurt you plenty too.
Not like this.
Bullshit. Or are you forgetting I made you so angry that you literally punched me with my own hand a few years ago?
It was nothing, apparently, to what I've done to you since.
It was kind of funny, actually.
It was not.
Not at the time, no. But have you ever thought about how it looked from the outside? We were practically Buster Keaton.
Maybe. But it doesn't take away from how much I've hurt you.
I'm fine.
Is this why you keep bringing up merging with him?
Arthur stiffens.
No, I keep bringing it up because you're hurting. And I don't think you're okay. I'm not trying to get rid of you. I need you.
You need someone. Maybe not me.
John was unprepared for that.
What?
Who the fuck else is going to put up with me? It's the piece of an eldritch god or nothing, far as I can tell.
You've got a point.
You see? You're stuck with me. Sorry. And if you don't like it, go spit.
John reaches up and checks Arthur's pulse again.
I'm fine. Quit it.
Arthur shoves the hand away.
Tell me more about the room.
Fine. I already did. There's not much to do in here. No books. Just that map on the table.
Walk me through it then.
Arthur stands.
Which way?
Left.
John is more than happy to leave this conversation behind.
Feel your way forward. There. That's the moon.
That's the fucking what?
At least telling Arthur about the moon's inhabitants and many cities makes the hour go by fast. Faroe can hear them fighting. She thinks they're in the war room this time, which is a boring place she barely considers. She walks the hall as regal as she can be, trying to find a spot where she can make out what they say, but it's no good. The warded soundproofing on that room scrambles everything, exactly as designed.
Think they're fighting about me again?
Nibbles nuzzles her and nearly knocks her off her feet.
Goof.
Nibbles does it again. Faroe clings to the bark this time, small, strong fingers slipping between cracks.
Okay, I'm going to try the spell.
Be careful, Faroe. Like I warned you this morning, this spell is bigger than you are. You won't get everything. And if you do it for too long, you'll pass out.
I understand. Thank you.
And there in the hall, clinging to her best friend, she tries to cast the eavesdropping spell. Her sight disappears, which she expected. Unexpected, she must have aimed it wrong. Instead of Dad and Uncle Arthur and John, she's got the Sycophants in the throne room.
Right there, double marked and all. I can't believe it. The rumors were true.
What do you think he's doing to him in there?
Fuck if I know. What did he mean about the mother?
It's human! Who knows? Like, they have loads of mothers.
I don't envy him the discipline he's receiving after this, though.
Liar! You'd do anything to be on the other end of those tentacles.
Grosh, not so loud!
Ew. Faroe turns the spell off. The mother? The mother. If this argument was about her, then could it be her mother? Dad has never told her who her parents were. She's asked. She pieced together she couldn't be Hastur's biological get 2 years ago. When you're older is the only answer, and it drives her nuts. More logically, the fight had nothing to do with her, and the mother is unrelated. Faroe wobbles. Even a few seconds of that spell took it out of her. Nibbles nuzzles her, concerned.
Get me to bed, okay?
Even though she outgrew midday naps a couple of years ago. It didn't have anything to do with her, logically. But if it did, Uncle had meaning. Uncle Arthur would mean he was related to her via one of her physical parents. But why would he never have told her about them, if that's true? Perhaps because she had not asked. Nibbles gets her to bed, and Faroe has enough energy to tow off her shoes before collapsing. She doesn't have enough information to form a complete picture. She knows she does not, and has long been taught dangers of assumptions in ignorance. In spite of that, she's starting to see a shape, a shadow, some big thing, enticing and secretive, that itches in the back of her mind like a scab. When she wakes, she'll ask Dad. Or maybe, instead, she'll just listen in.
Good girl, Frofen.
Faroe passes out, wearing a smile. Hastur is short-tempered through the rest of court. He is short-tempered through the night's gala, and short-tempered as he roams the palace late, snapping at anyone he finds out, whether or not they are permitted. Finally, he leaves his palace to float over his lands and his city, to enact justice where he wills, to do what he is meant to do, rule. He is a god. He does not need parenting advice from the worst human who ever lived. It's inconceivable that she'd rebel. She's never evinced that kind of rampant foolishness Arthur does, but Hastur knows nothing about her mother beyond Arthur's stained memories. Could it be possible that something from Bella could cause trouble? Surely not. Surely. Hastur cannot bring himself to simply do what Arthur said. That's too much. But maybe he could twist this suggestion to his advantage. It could be a means to teach Faroe how to think, how to choose. How to choose, specifically, the path he's laid before her. It's not a terrible idea, and it's his twist, not Arthur's. None of that nonsense about complete freedom of choice. Who the fuck would do that with their child? They might make the wrong one. No, he could swing this. He could lay it all out, show her his reasoning. Then she'd not merely be following, but pursuing the life she ought to live. This would work. Hastur spots a pickpocket and twists the man like a pretzel, snapping his spine and squeezing his flesh into rivulets, all while not even bothering to come down out of the sky. Witnesses scream. It's wonderful. He is their god, and these are his people, and he loves meting out proper justice with an audience. Yes, this idea would work. Hastur goes home, making plans, turning this into his idea, one he is working with at all only because Faroe is, at heart, mostly human. Not that he'd needed Arthur's advice, of course. He'd have come to this conclusion on his own soon enough, obviously. It was all going to work out fine.
If you enjoyed this production of Surrogate, the Director's Cut, please read the original written work on AO3, where it is still actively updating as of November 2024. A link is in the work notes, where you can also find the social medias of all the production cast. Malevolent was written and produced by Harlan Guthrie, and all characters depicted here belong to their respective creators. The cast and management produced this show for no monetary gain, and all rights remain with the authors. Any sound effects or music used in this production were obtained legally or are created by the production cast. Please let us know your thoughts, and as Kayne would say,
Stay tuned for the next episode.